Hello and welcome to the Astro Vibe of the Week. I am Shira. I'm in a new space for the month of September. While I am in Tulum, Mexico, experiencing a new culture, a new way of life, and different astrology experience as wherever you go, your birth chart adjusts a little bit. So this week we are entering the final stages before the solar eclipse in Virgo that's coming on Sunday, the 21st of September. And it's an interesting closure point because if you go back to the month of August, and you might even want to take out your phone and look at your photos from the weekend of August 21, 22, 23, that is when the sun shifted into Virgo at 0 degree Virgo on August 22nd, we had a 0 degree Virgo new moon, meaning we stepped into the Virgo archetypal energy and we began the journey that aligns with this energy. Now we have experienced a full cycle of it, and it's coming to a closure where we have learned lessons, where we have stepped into our manifestations in a new way, where we have deepened our connection to ourself, our relationship to our mind, which is Virgo, mercurial energy. And it's a closure as well as another fresh new beginning. So it's quite an exciting energy. If you want to pause this video for a moment and look at the pictures in your phone or just journal for a moment on what was going on in your life about 4 weeks ago on that 0 degree point, because it really started this journey and it peaked on the Pisces lunar eclipse, which happened on Sunday, the 7th of September. And now we are closing out and releasing whatever peaked last Sunday. And we're coming into a totally new chapter of awareness, specifically around the Virgo energies in your chart. So I'm going to share the chart of the eclipse. And what you might want to do is pause this video and find where you have mutable signs. So you're going to find in your birth chart where is Virgo, where is Pisces? Where is Sagittarius and Gemini? Because those get squared at a 90-degree angle. So all the mutable energy is having a really strong experience. And you want to find where is that mutable energy in your birth chart. Now, a couple things before I open the chart, you might hear a strange whistling noise. There's a strange bird outside, and you also might hear cats fighting. There's like 6 or 7 cats that they're the queens and the kings of this building, of this apartment I'm in. So if you hear them, you hear them. Just go with it, go with the flow. And isn't that a huge part of this eclipse portal is learning to surrender to experiences and to accept the unknown and accept what we cannot control. That is like the biggest lesson that we're experiencing as we go through these eclipses, especially with the North Node in Pisces. The North Node represents where our collective evolution is going, where our consciousness is growing collectively. And the South Node is what we are clearing, what we are releasing in this lifetime. Just a moment ago, I spoke about when we had the new moon in Virgo at 0 degrees. And if you take a closer look at this chart, you'll notice that on September 21st, we have the moon at 29 degrees and the sun at 29 degrees Virgo. Anytime you have a new moon, you have the sun and the moon aligning perfectly together. And when you have an eclipse, you've got a new moon or a full moon if it's a lunar eclipse very, very close to either the North Node or the South Node. So this solar eclipse, it's going to be a partial solar eclipse, is about 10 degrees away from the South Node in Virgo. So there is a theme that is relevant no matter what you have in Virgo or what you don't have in Virgo. A huge piece of this is understanding your energy, what drains you and what sustains you, what gives you life, what gives you energy, what makes you feel good long term, what gives you longevity. Because Virgo deals with digestion, what we are intaking. And that's not just food, it's also what you see, what you hear, the kind of energy that you're around, people that you're around, how you feel when you leave a group of people, how you feel when you leave work. All of these kind of energetic things might give you life, might give you energy, or they might deplete your energy. And there is this dance that this Virgo energy does where it learns about subtle energy. And it really is a subtle quality to understand. It's about discernment. For a lot of people, this is a big journey to really discern what gives me energy, what drains me, what might be what do I think gives me energy but actually takes energy away from me. Sometimes that can show up as addiction, where, for example, if you're a smoker and you feel like when you have your cigarette that you feel grounded and you feel calm, but in actuality, you need that thing. You're giving your energy that thing to feel this certain way. And it's not so much that this thing grounds you and makes you feel good, but it's actually this ritual that you have where you have an awareness that your energy is getting depleted, or you need a moment, you need like un ratito to breathe and to settle, and you go to the thing that becomes how you do that. And that's how routines are created. That's also how rituals are created, and it's how addictions are created and sustained. So, for this Virgo energy, what does truly give you energy and what is not actually serving you long term when it comes to your discernment to what is healthy for you in the long term? That might even be a big thing, like the kind of relationship that you're in or the career that you're in. And it's cultivating the awareness of it. Now, if you've been in it during this eclipse season and you are in this place of surrender and you are in this place of letting go and you're having these realizations that something might not be good for you, but now is not the time for you to change something or to break something off or to walk away from something, that is also to be honored right now. Wherever you're at in your journey, as we explore these Virgo themes in real life, in your real life, a big piece of it is honoring where you're at and just coming into this conscious awareness of where you're at in your timeline and what subtle shifts you can make in order to make your daily life feel more sustaining, more life-giving for you. And what you have to either add or take away, I'm sure you've been experiencing themes around that um, in your life as you come into this next chapter. So for some people, it's adding a routine or a ritual that might be in the morning, I meditate now for 10 minutes. Or in the morning, I put on music and I dance instead of waking up and looking at my phone and letting my phone take my energy. Because wherever you put your attention, you are also giving your energy. And I sat down today with a really amazing yoga teacher, and he said, um, I think I have an addiction to giving. He said, we were talking about addictions, and he said, I think I might have an addiction to giving, like I'm over giving. And I said, absolutely, that is an addiction because we are needing this thing. We are attached to something. And when you're attached to something, you are giving it your life force energy. And if you didn't have it, you would have to replenish your own energy in a different way. So it is a deep concept around what might be coming through. With the Virgo and Pisces axis, the reason why addiction comes up is because with the Pisces archetype, Pisces sometimes is this sponge, psychic sponge, and tends to absorb a lot of energy. And in a spiritual sense, that can be really beautiful because you can connect to oneness, you connect to source energy or God or whatever you call it, and you can get a lot of deep belonging, feeling united, feeling connected, feeling purposeful to these higher frequency energies. But if you're more on the other end of the spectrum, you tend to escape from energy depletion or escape from what you don't want to look at or, be more in fantasy than in reality. And that's where the addiction plays in, where it feels like you're replenishing your energy, but in fact, it's an illusion. And that is something that is like it might be hard to face this kind of energy because Virgo and Pisces, Virgo is so much about sovereignty and truth and evolving and becoming the best that you can be. And for some people, they're going to take it way too far and they're going to be really hard on themselves. They're going to have a lot of inner criticism and it will be very harsh because their perfectionism is coming from the external gaze. It's how can I be good enough to be accepted? How can I be good enough to um, have my boss see me or my partner validate me, or how can I be good enough if I do this master program, I will be validated by my parents, whatever it might be, subconscious, conscious, whatever it is. With Virgo energy, there the perfectionism can be so toxic. It can be depleting. If you give your energy to perfectionism, you are addicted to this like black hole of never going to be enough. It's never going to be enough. So the journey with Virgo is how do I become my best self for me, for the love of me, for the deepest love that I have inside of me, for my relationship with the deepest part of me and my relationship with my soul, where I can really look in the mirror and look into my eyes and be deeply, deeply in unconditional love with myself, where I know that I'm doing my best and I can really be compassionate and kind to myself because I'm doing my best. And I know I'm doing my best. And with the South Node in Virgo, the toxic qualities of perfectionism that have to do with enoughness are being detoxified. They are being cleared out and released. So a lot of people are even having physical symptoms because Virgo is also digestive system and central nervous system. So a lot of people in this 4-week portal have gotten sick. They maybe have a stomach bug or like they need a day in bed, whatever it is. Their body is clearing out emotional energy that no longer resonates with the frequency of self-love and no longer resonates with where they're growing and how they are changing vibrationally. So also sleep could be a little bit wonky during the past 4 weeks. um, you could have gone through a million different emotions and really just be feeling this on a deep level, especially if you have mutable energy. So Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, Sagittarius, if you have that in your chart, especially in your top three, or even North Node, South Node, Venus, and Mars, you most likely have been going through some really, really big shifts. So I started talking about 0 degrees Virgo because in August we began this journey of the self, of knowing yourself on a deeper and deeper and deeper level. And that's what Virgo wants. It wants to get into the details. It wants to get into the nitty gritty, and it wants to almost like systematize and organize and understand the world in a way that makes sense, where they can make sense of it, where they can alphabetize it so that there's a system that makes sense. That's why rituals and routines are so important for this kind of energy. Because if you think about it, a routine is a way to systematize and organize your day, where you know that if you start your day with positive energy and you follow through with the intention of that positive energy, that is going to have a ripple effect on the entire rest of your day. I'm sure you've had a bad day before. Maybe you wake up, you like spill coffee on your pants or something, and the old way is to have the thought, oh my God, the rest of this day is going to be horrible. This is the worst day ever. And then you create a ripple effect and you call in more of that challenging energy. The new way to do it, the more sovereign way to do it, the Virgo Mercury discerning way to do it is, let me really observe my thoughts and my mind and this path that my mind is going on, and let me align it with more positive energy. Let me align it with more loving energy. Let me align it with me in my power. Virgo really is this sovereign being in her power. By the way, Virgo as the virgin, like symbolically, archetypally as the virgin, virgin is not about sexual energy. It's not actually about intercourse. It's about being sovereign. It's about, if you're a virgin, you have not given yourself, your energy, to another being. You are in yourself. You know yourself. You can take care of yourself. That's really the archetypal energy of Virgo. I know how to eat to love myself. I know how to think to love myself. I know how to be in control of my mind. And also, I know that I cannot control the world around me, but I can control my thoughts, my behavior, and most importantly, of course, even though we're talking about earth energy, my breath, how I breathe is so important, especially with all of the air energy happening. And we're going to have a more just this grand air trine for a long time between Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. So how we breathe and relaxing our belly and breathing into our belly is going to become so important, especially for central nervous system regulation. So we're closing this chapter for this new moon. It's a fun, funky, kind of wild journey that it's been since the 22nd of August, when we had that 0 degree Virgo. So do look back and see what was happening in your life, and acknowledge how far you've come, and acknowledge how you have grown in your journey of the self. That's Virgo, knowing yourself. Now, on this 29-degree solar eclipse, we will have an opposition. 29-degree solar eclipse opposing 28-degree Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So we got this experience of Saturn in Aries before Saturn went retrograde. And that experience of Saturn in Aries is, what do I have to do? Or what do I get to do? Language upgrade. What do I get to do to be more courageous? What does my future look like? How can I take brave new steps into the unknown? We got this taste of it. And then Saturn started to retrograde back into Pisces, and Saturn is asking us for closure. Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac wheel. So we're at the end of the zodiac wheel with Pisces. Also, Pisces is where the North Node is. So this Virgo solar eclipse is opposing the North Node energy of Pisces. So there is closure, big clearing, big endings, and new beginnings. But Saturn in Pisces is saying, where do you need to be more aware of your responsibility to endings in your life? And it's just beginning its journey. Saturn will go all the way back to 25 degrees Pisces before going forward again towards Aries. And Saturn will be here making that journey from 28 to 25 and then forward again until February. So it's not something to rush where it's like, oh my God, I need to sell everything and move out of the country. And if you do feel that way, go for it. But it's not rushing energy. It is intuition energy where you are becoming more responsible with your intuition. You're being asked to make it a priority that you are connected to your intuition. That's Pisces, with your inner knowing, that you are able to have a relationship with your third eye, the part of your brain that has access to ancient wisdom, that you, in order to turn it on and engage with it, you have to do practices for that. There are meditations for that. There are yoga classes for that. There's mantras for that. But it for many people, even if you're very intuitive and you feel like you have a open third eye and you're psychic, it's very important to discern how you use that energy and to protect your energy and to have really good psychic hygiene and really good emotional energetic hygiene, especially during this time. Because if you don't, if you're like a highly sensitive person but you aren't engaging in the practices that keep your field clean and vibrant and radiant, then you're going to feel very depleted, because the like world around you is going to shift and adjust and manipulate your auric field. I know that sounds scary, but it's less scary than it sounds. And it's about, we are, not to be frank, but like, we're not really here to just fuck around. Like, we're not just here to come on earth and like do nothing and just lay on the beach all day, though that is a really lovely, wonderful thing to do. And we are here to have fun and we are here to bliss out. We are here to enjoy. But we're also here in a incarnation. We have reincarnated to learn things and to have an experience of growth. Pisces is about reincarnation. It's also about past lives. So with the North Node in Pisces, with Saturn in Pisces, it's what am I learning in this incarnation that I didn't quite comprehend 100% in my last incarnation? And you'll know because there'll be things that are difficult for you in this incarnation. Challenges that you have in this incarnation are the places where you are here to learn more about being in your power and having a connection to your intuition and following through on your intuition. So I would say Saturn in Pisces is the follow through, because Saturn is responsibility. It's the follow through on Pisces, your intuition, your inner knowing, your spiritual connection. And it's going to look different for everybody. So you have to listen to yourself and trust yourself. That's why we always say in Kundalini Yoga when we start a class, Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. I bow to my inner teacher. I bow to my inner wisdom, my intuition, and my inner guru, because that's the way to practice Pisces and spiritual discernment, connecting with your own inner knowing. So, this is a super potent solar eclipse in Virgo because it is opposing Saturn in Pisces. How are you practicing your spiritual discernment, your intuition, and following through on your intuition so that you can, Virgo, live your best life, be your best self for you, not to please anyone outside of you, not to overgive, not to be a martyr, but to gain an experience of growth and evolution in this incarnation that you're here to do, and to experience more self mastery. Sometimes self mastery is just about forgiving yourself. And I'm intuitively getting this message of this new moon also is going to have for many people this lens of self-forgiveness, where maybe there's something that you have been holding on to, something that you feel bad about, something that you feel guilt about, that it's time to let go of. It's time to say goodbye. The 29th degree is the anaretic degree. They call this in esoteric astrology, they call this a spiritual crisis, but it's not the kind of crisis that you think about in a negative way. It's more of an awakening. When you have the 29th degree, you're at lesson learned. You're learning something big and you're having an awakening and you're honoring what you're waking up to. So you might pause this video for a moment and write the question, what am I waking up to? Or even just drop the question without needing to answer it right now and just trust that it will be revealed as time moves on. Is what is the lesson that I'm waking up to? What have I learned about myself during this cycle, during this eclipse cycle? I've learned something really potent that I needed to understand. Most likely I've learned many things. I've gone on a deeper self-inquiry journey, and now I'm at this 29th degree where I'm about to leave something behind. 29 degree, leaving something behind because it's the closure point. If 0 degree is the beginning, 29 degree to 30 degree is the closure point. Every sign has 30 degrees. There's 30 degrees every day. The sun moves 1 degree, right? Every month, about 30 days-ish, the sun changes signs. So very soon the sun and the moon shift into Libra, and now we go into a totally new journey. But Saturn's staying over there in Pisces. So spiritual awareness and practicing discernment with spirituality and taking action on your intuition, what you know, is so important. There's also awakening energy coming through Pluto in Aquarius at 1 degree, in a beautiful trine with Uranus, both retrograde, Uranus and Gemini. So we have these air energies aligning at 1 degree, which is a new beginning. And Uranus is helping us to break free from the past, to break free from the old ways of doing things, to break free from the binds of the old traditions, the patriarchy, the old energies. It could even be old thoughts, programs. This is major programming breakthrough. This is like curse breaking energy. Pluto alchemizes and transforms energy. We are rapidly undergoing a journey of liberation, I would say. This is a big theme, is this journey of liberation through Uranus. Uranus wants you to evolve rapidly. Uranus wants you to connect to your highest vision. Uranus is Aquarius. It's about the future and what is going to serve humanity. So we are learning to honor ourselves and what we need and our own energy as a way to be able to serve humanity at a higher level. If you don't have energy to give, you don't have energy to give. If you're not giving yourself energy, then what you're giving to everybody else is fumes. That's how resentment and annoyance, frustration, irritation occurs. If you feel those things, rest. Rest. This is not a week to go gung ho. This is like really, really gentle. This is a week to be gentle with yourself, to move slowly, and to reflect. There's so much energy, reflection energy. To Pluto and Uranus retrograde. Retrograde is reflection. Pisces is reflection. Virgo is also reflection. It's inner understanding. So, if there was a piece of advice I could give for this upcoming solar eclipse at 29 degrees Virgo, is the whole week leading up to it is truly to be gentle. Just be not take the just away. Be gentle, be kind with yourself, with each other, with the people in your life. Pay attention and take care of your needs, your energy, your boundaries. As challenging as it may be for many of you, especially those with a lot of Virgo in your chart, as Virgo is the healer. Virgo wants to serve, Virgo wants to give and give and give and give. So, how can you, this week leading up to the eclipse, how can you receive? How can you receive? And what do you want to receive? Think about what you want to receive and how that might look in your life, how that might feel for you to receive, to be open to receiving what is aligned for you in this time. And then as you get up to the eclipse, rather than setting intentions and like doing your best to blast forward, see this solar eclipse as a pausing energy. That's at least what I am receiving. My message is pause and open. Be open to opportunities and guidance and signs and messages from the universe rather than trying to force change or rapidly make really big manifestations and be attached to that. There's much more releasing energy than there is beginning energy when you have a solar eclipse at 29 degrees opposing Saturn and Pisces retrograde. It's like, if I can be really gross and like not Virgo for a moment, it's like a big poop. It's like a really healthy, hopefully a healthy poop, like a good cleanse of energy so that you can clear out toxins, clear out old emotions, clear out the past. Do what you need to do. Sing mantra, do yoga, do what feels good for you as much as you can, as much as it feels good. And then on Sunday, allow yourself to rest when we have that eclipse. Allow yourself to rest and to take care, and know that naturally you, even if it's subconsciously and you're not even aware of it, doesn't matter. So much is shedding, so much is clearing, so much is releasing underneath the surface. And you are slowly but surely stepping into really beautiful, nurturing, soothing energy that is aligned with exactly what you need. So you are coming into, as you move through this portal, the perfect vibration for you. So you can trust that that process is undergoing and that you are exactly where you're meant to be right now, exactly on the path you're meant to be on. Even if it doesn't feel like it, it's all working out in your favor. So just trust it, trust your intuition, and fill your cup, fill that cup. All right, I love you. I am so grateful for you. That's all for now. I will see you on the other side.